Okay, let's do the usual. Let's test this mic. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that the taxman at the door? Okay, folks, let's get on with the show, shall we? Welcome to another video by the brilliant expat Cafe. A video, as you can see from the title, Fake Apollo, Volume 1. Proof the rover ran on fuel. Now folks, what I can assure you here is this video is going to be a real corker. It's going to be a cracker. It's going to blow NASA's flagship right out of the water. And it's really going to get up under the skin of the few remaining NASA shills. And I'll show you what I mean by the remaining NASA shills. Now, let me say here, you've all heard of the saying, if a picture paints 1,000 words. Well, I'm going to be showing you pictures that do paint 1,000 words. Now, before I provide the evidence of this rover running on fuel, I suggest you take a quick look at 4 successful videos of mine in the past. Now folks, before I go displaying any irrefutable evidence, let me make a few points here. How do I know that I've got credible evidence of fakery? Well, there are 2 ways to confirm that what I've got is credible. The first one is, the moment you put it up on YouTube, the video is bombarded with morons posting nothing but derogatory remarks, insults and foul language. That's the first thing. When you upset the morons, you know you've got credible evidence of fakery. The next thing is when NASA as good as says, okay, expat, you've proven we never went to the moon, you got us, you beat us, yes. The evidence is there that we faked it. Now, some of you will say, well, NASA are never going to say that. No, they won't say that, but they'll nearly say it by doing one thing, and that's taking action. And what action do I mean? Alter the photos, delete photos, alter text, change the story. When they take action like that, they're admitting they got it wrong. And the brilliant expat Cafe got it right. What you'll get now from all these morons, don't be so stupid, NASA never changed anything. NASA never altered photos, NASA never deleted photos, NASA never changed the story. Well, just think of it. They claim they went to the moon, they claim they drilled 9 foot down, they brought back samples of soil, samples of rock, but there was no report of them finding water, was there? No, one of the best videos of the brilliant expat Taffy is expat Taffy's dogs prove that NASA faked the moon landing. My dog's out in the garden displaying you can only get 2 colour soils if you've got a water-based subsoil. There is no water on the moon. So the black tracks they displayed for the rovers and the astronauts are all fake. Impossible. Now my dogs in the garden by here will dig a hole to get down to black wet soil because it's cooler. After they're out of that hole for an hour or so running round, they come back and they look at that hole and they think, oh, that's no longer cold because it's gone back, it's dried out and it's gone back the same as the surface everywhere else. So they dig a new hole. You see, they've got brains to know down below is a water-based soil. Now, NASA are admitting that the brilliant expat Taffy is right, because they've now claimed they've discovered water on the moon in the last year. They claim it came in on meteorites and buried itself under the surface, and it's still a vacuum. Water can't exist in a vacuum. Now folks, I'm going to give you 3 other cases important to this video that proves the brilliant expat Taffy made NASA change the story. And I'm going to provide evidence that they changed the story. Now let me tell you, way back, I can't remember the year. It may have been around about 1990, way after the Apollo moon landing. My eyes were watching the TV. And on the TV in South Wales, it may have been in the whole of the UK, NASA was displaying this rover is supposed to be running round on the moon. I immediately commented on that and said, that's 100% fake. You could hear an engine going. I put a comment in the newspapers. It's got to be fake because a petrol engine cannot work in a vacuum on the moon. Now that is one thing, and they did have that video out, and luckily enough, certain people around the world did manage to download it. I'll display it after. But that's the one thing, after I commented on that in the papers, it wasn't long before that video was changed and the sound muted. That's one thing. Another thing, as I've discussed with all these morons in the past, it was the brilliant expat Taffy then who said it's also fake because it's got rubber tires.
A major milestone in the Lunar Roving Vehicle Development Program was delivery by General Motors of the 1G trainer vehicle to be used for astronaut training. Though heavier and stronger than an actual moon rover, since the crew and equipment weigh 6 times more on Earth, the trainer was practically identical in size, shape, and handling characteristics. One simple difference was the use of ordinary pneumatic rubber tires because of the extra weight of the vehicle. At the Manned Spacecraft Center, the 1G trainer was operated using counterbalance springs to simulate the moon's gravitational field. Through operation of the trainer in this mode, Astronauts were able to become accustomed to the LRV months before actual use during their mission.
And I pointed out that 1976, the year my daughter was born, we was travelling down the motorway and it was so hot, I still say it's the hottest year ever. In the UK, you could not go 1 mile without seeing a car with a blown out tyre. There was tyres bursting everywhere, it was that hot. But it wasn't as hot as on the moon. That may have only been about 36 to 38 degrees on the Earth, but the moon, 125 degrees centigrade. No way could rubber tyres exist on the moon. Now, immediately after the brilliant expat Taffy commented on that, we had this sudden change of story whereby there was not rubber tyres on the moon, they were wire mesh.
Weighing 460 pounds earth weight and capable of carrying a total payload of 1,080 pounds. The LRV would have 5 major systems: mobility, cruise station, navigation, power, and thermal control. The mobility system, which must be able to cross 12-inch high obstacles and 28-inch diameter craters, consists of the wheels, traction drive, suspension, steering, and drive control electronics. The system was designed, developed, and tested by General Motors. The first assemblies were put through development tests to measure strength, deflection, endurance, and other factors. For example, driven on a rolling road fixture, the wheel assembly was tested under Earth conditions, and later in test chambers reproducing the environmental conditions of the moon. The LRV tires are made of a woven mesh of zinc-coated piano wire, to which titanium threads are riveted in a chevron pattern to keep the wheels from sinking into the soft lunar soil. Long-duration torture testing on this so-called carousel, simulating the lunar surface, verified the durability of the wheel design. The test assembly was supported by springs to relieve most of its weight, thus simulating the 1/6 gravity of the moon. Manufacturing of the first flight LRV proceeded concurrently with the rigorous testing of non-flight units. As evidenced in this wheel fabrication, skilled and detailed handcrafting was involved in many of the LRV components. The first flight model LRV was formally delivered to NASA by the prime contractor, Boeing, on March 10, 1971, 2 weeks ahead of schedule. It had been less than 18 months since inception of the LRV program, only 13 months since the prime contract was awarded, an accomplishment reflecting the outstanding effort and dedication of the joint NASA Industry Development Team.
Now, here's the evidence coming up. I was right and NASA was wrong, and NASA changed the story.
On with it! Yes! Get on with it! Get on with it!
Take a look at this coming up now.
Get on with it!
Remember I just told you you should be taking a look at 4 older videos of mine regarding the rover? Okay folks, now that article only appeared after the brilliant expat Taffy said I've made a great discovery.
Get on with it!
Where they claimed rubber would not satisfy conditions on the moon. Okay, take a look at this link here now. Here's another link that subscriber of mine who used to advertise for Goodyear. Here's a link he put on that video of mine. As you can see, it's in blue, so it should be still available, but it is not. Let me show you what you get when you click on that link. Here you are, folks. Here is what you get if you click on that link. 403, forbidden. It's been blocked. Now, why would it be blocked, folks? It must be something that's really damning to NASA, and they take the usual action. They take the site down. Now, folks, there's been a lot of argument over the last couple of years regarding whether the rover on the moon had rubber tyres or not. I'll leave you a link for another good site to check this out. It's called Collector Space. Plot in www.collectorspace.com. You'll find there have been lots of arguments back and forth. Did GM make the wheels or the tyres, or Goodyear, or what? Now, I'd rather go to the evidence. In one of the videos I've shown you, NASA's rover never went to the moon. You'll find I display photos that they claim are on the moon, have got rubber tyres, but they've painted with Photoshop, painted the grip bars across, and it's pretty obvious that's being done. That's what I go for. My eyes and my brain. I can see the photos there showing the rovers in the moon photos as having rubber tyres, black rubber tyres. Check the videos and you'll see the evidence. Now, more evidence coming up here.
On with it. Yes, get on with it.
Here you are, take a look at this, folks. An article that appeared in the press after the brilliant expert Taffy stated that rubber tyres can't be used on the moon. The National Aeronautics and Space Administration, NASA, and Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company have developed an airless tire to transport large, long-range vehicles across the surface of the moon. There you are. In case anybody says, "Excuse me, NASA, I thought you made these wire mesh tires in 1971. How are you designing them in 2009? Their way of getting out of that is, it's a different one. It's a bigger, heavier one to carry greater loads. See, covering up their track again. You see, folks, always the same with NASA, isn't it? Making up packs of lies as they go along just to cover their track. Now, Obama said we go back in 2020. They did not. They changed the date to 2024. They did not. And then when Trump said, I want a man on the moon, they've now changed it to 2028. Now what the hell are they doing inventing a greater, heavier tyre, wire mesh tyre, to take larger vehicles and longer distances when they've no intention of going back? That's just a cover story, as I keep telling you, to cover up for their past mistakes that they've got no logical explanation for. To find out that I'm right, go and watch that video of mine. NASA's rover never went to the moon, and you can see, definitely, rubber tyres that's got white marks painted on them to make it look like the metal spring tyre.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm not gonna break it. Let me up to anything.
That's all, Mark. That max acceleration?
No.
Man, you are really bouncing.
Is he on the ground at all? That's 10 kilometers. Huh?
He's got about 2 wheels on the ground. He's a big rooster tail out of all 4 wheels. And as he turns, he skids. The back end breaks loose just like on snow. Come on back, John. Hey, the deck is running. Man, I'll tell you, Andy's never seen a driver like this. Okay, when he hits the craters and starts bouncing is when he gets his rooster tail. He makes sharp turns. Hey, that was a good stop. Those wheels just locked. Mark off.
Okay. Hey, you want to do it one more time?
Yeah.
At about a minute, 5 seconds that
Okay,
time.
mark on.
You want to do it one more time?
Yeah.
At about a minute, 5 seconds that
Okay,
time.
mark on.
You want to do it one more time?
Yeah.
At about a minute, 5 seconds that
Okay,
time.
mark on. Okay, you could have gone the other way. Go ahead. There's the big craters there, though, aren't they?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
One of those holes.
They want 4 minutes worth, John. Well, it's 1 minute and 5. Maybe you could do it twice more.
Surely.
Okay, turn sharp.
I have no desire to turn sharp. Okay, here's a Sharpie.
Hey, that's great. Man, those things, when those wheels really dig in, John, when you turn, it's when you get the rooster tail. The suspension
Charlie?
system on that thing is fantastic.
That
Yeah.
sounds good. We sound like we've probably got enough of the Grand Prix. We're willing to let you go on from here. Call that a Grand Prix.
Okay. Man, that was all 4 wheels off the ground there. Okay, max stop.
Okay, I don't want to do that.
Okay, excuse me.
They say that's a no-no.
Okay, deck off, Mark.
Okay folks, we're now at the 22-minute mark of this video. Proof the rover ran on throughout. Now, I suppose some of you are going to say, hey, come on expat, where's this proof the rover ran on fuel? Well, there's still a lot to display on that. So what I've decided to call a halt at this point in this video, end of volume 1, and I'll provide the evidence that the rover ran on fuel in volume 2. There is a lot to display. In the meantime, I want to finish off with this video by leaving you with one particular photo, and that is the photo I've used for all the title pages for the last 4 videos. Now this photo is a photo taken of a rover at Flagstaff, Arizona. Now there's 4 points of evidence of fakery on that rover. You're going to see 2 of them are very easy to spot. The third one, well, it's very, very important. It's the most important one of the lot. All you need is your eyes. But the 4th one is very difficult. You need your eyes and your brain. What I want to do is leave you all study this photo and see if you can pick out the 4 points of fakery. The 4 important points of fakery, and one of them being proof the rover ran on fuel. Let's see what you make of it, and then maybe in a week's time I'll provide volume 2, thus providing the evidence that the rover ran on fuel. Study this photo coming up, folks.
A major milestone in the Lunar Roving Vehicle Development Program was delivery by General Motors of the 1G trainer vehicle to be used for astronaut training. Though heavier and stronger than an actual moon rover, since the crew and equipment weigh 6 times more on Earth, the trainer was practically identical in size, shape, and handling characteristics. One simple difference was the use of ordinary pneumatic rubber tires because of the extra weight of the vehicle. At the Manned Spacecraft Center, the 1G trainer was operated using counterbalance springs to simulate the moon's gravitational field. Through operation of the trainer in this mode, astronauts were able to become accustomed to the LRV months before actual use during their mission.
Keep studying it. Anybody spotted anything yet?